Thank you for joining us on Fox 54 News at 6. I'm Kenesha Dees. Lock the clock. It's a phrase we're hearing more often as Congress moves closer to potential vote on the Sunshine Protection Act. If passed, Alabama could immediately shift to daylight saving time permanently. So what would it look like here in Huntsville with permanent daylight saving time? Again, we're talking about later sunrises and sunsets with the biggest impact in the winter months. The latest sunrise happening in early January with daylight coming just before 8 a.m. And the earliest sunset, well, that would be in early December, a little after 5:30 p.m. But beyond the convenience of not changing your clocks, Fox 54's Logan Alexandra Russell looks at the major traffic safety and health trade-offs with staying on DST.
More sunlight at the end of the day. It's an idea that puts a smile on the faces of many Alabama commuters. And data shows that the sunlight might actually save lives. An extra hour of evening light means increased visibility during the busiest hours of the day. But rewriting the clock could create a significant safety shift. To get that extra sunlight in the evening, we would have to sacrifice some of our morning light. Under permanent DST, North Alabama winter sunrises would be delayed until nearly 8 a.m. This would mean the morning commute would be done in total darkness for many of us during the winter months.
The impact will be that you're literally shifting your body's ability to stay awake longer, so you're not going to get as much sleep that night for the next day. So that sleep deprivation over time can cause issues.
Beyond our biology, rewriting the clock alters the physics of the morning roadways. Experts warn that drivers will confront increased grogginess and lower visibility. If this sounds like a familiar experiment, it's because the U.S. tried it once before. In 1974, Congress enacted permanent DST. The experiment was reversed in less than a year after numerous morning traffic fatalities involving school children waiting for the bus in the dark.
Inappropriate sleep affects hormonal axis, affects your mood, affects your memory, your cognitive ability to function through the day, a relationship, your work performance.
While the promise of an extra hour of evening sunlight is popular, the debate remains a balancing act between safety in the evening versus the morning. In Huntsville, Logan Alexandra Russell, Fox 54 News.
House leadership confirmed that there will be a vote on the act this week, but an exact date and time still unknown. Senator Tommy Tuberville has been outspoken in support of a move to permanent daylight saving time, and he weighed in again this morning, posting, quote, "Changing our clocks twice a year is an outdated, burdensome practice. I encourage my colleagues in the House to support the Sunshine Protection Act and lock the clock," end quote. Back here in the Tennessee Valley, as we look above at Drake Mountain, you can see lots of cloud cover, lots of gray, no surprise there. Yeah, if you were outside today, I hope you had your rain gear because it was a very wet day as we continue to deal with scattered showers throughout the Tennessee Valley. I'm joined now by Fox 54 Weather Impact Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. Jordan, can we expect these showers to stick around?
Yeah, we most definitely can. This activity is not going anywhere anytime too soon. As a matter of fact, some of us are talking about some scattered showers this evening, maybe even a couple of rumbles of thunder, specifically across northwest Alabama. That's where the activity has been hanging out over the last half hour or 45 minutes. And the thing about this activity is it typically doesn't move very fast. So I think over the next couple of days, some quick flash flooding is going to be a concern where locations actually do pick up a little bit of rain, just because when the activity kind of fires up, it's going to stick around for a reasonably prolonged period of time before it just kind of fizzles its way on out of here. Now, some of us are dry this evening. Everybody east of the I-65 corridor, as a matter of fact. And some of us are going to stay dry through the rest of the evening. Some of us are going to get a little bit more rain. Temperatures are actually quite comfortable when you consider the fact that it is mid-July and we're sitting in the upper 70s at 6 o'clock in the evening, 79 in Huntsville, 82 in Florence, 83 in Scottsboro, 79 in Coleman. Because of the rain that stays in the forecast, we're also going to keep around the below average temperatures. We'll discuss these in greater detail here in a few minutes.
We're learning a 1-year-old is recovering after police say the stroller the toddler was in rolled into traffic and was struck by a car today. The incident happened in Hartselle when officers responded to holiday auto sales. They say a guardian briefly turned away and the stroller with a child secured in the car seat rolled down a hill and into traffic on Highway 31 and was hit by a car. Police say the child was conscious and alert with minor injuries, including a possible broken arm. Was taken to Decatur Morgan Hospital. The driver was not hurt. A Florence police officer is now on administrative leave after authorities say he's charged with domestic violence. A spokesperson for Florence Police says the Lauderdale County Sheriff's Office notified the department about an active investigation into one of their officers. Asa Ballou, pictured here. The investigation was related to alleged domestic violence. The department says Ballou was immediately placed on administrative leave. He turned himself into the Lauderdale County Detention Center and now faces 2 counts of third-degree domestic violence. A man is now behind bars after a traffic stop led to a drug arrest in Tuscumbia. Court records say James Michael was pulled over for a traffic signal violation. Michael allowed deputies to search his car, authorities say, where they say they uncovered a, quote, white powdery substance suspected to be fentanyl. Investigators say Michael then turned over a baggie containing 8.3 grams of fentanyl. He was out on bond awaiting trial for unlawful distribution and furnishing controlled substances before this arrest. Michael now faces a drug trafficking charge. He's held on a $150,000 bond. Highway 55 East in Falkville now open after it was temporarily closed earlier today. Crews worked to remove an 18-wheeler from a ditch near Jarvis Drive. Take a look for yourself. The road was closed for hours as crews cleared the roadway, and the road in all lanes have since reopened. Short-term rentals are a hot topic among cities in North Alabama, including Huntsville, Decatur, and Madison, which recently enacted ordinances to regulate how they spring up inside the city limits. And now another community is taking a stance tonight. The conversation now trickling down to the town of Triana. It's a town with only 5,000 people, a couple of stoplights, and 1 volunteer fire department. But officials are already looking into regulations of their own. Fox 54's Caleb Aguayo shows us the ordinance town officials are voting on tonight.
Are homes in your neighborhood starting to show up on Airbnb or Vrbo? What's that doing for the community around you? These are all questions the town of Triana is looking to answer as they consider an official plan for short-term rental properties within town limits. If adopted, Town Ordinance number 2026 would introduce a 9% lodging tax on stays from just 1 night up to 6 months long. In addition, those renting out local properties would have to secure an annual license for each unit and show that license number on all online listings. As a courtesy, rental property owners would also have to notify the neighbors and any local homeowners associations by mail, but those neighbors wouldn't be able to say no. And they'd have to meet some more safety and operational requirements to be eligible as a short-term rental. Properties would have to have a parking spot off the street for each bedroom, limit occupancy to 2 people per room, pass annual inspections, and have working fire extinguishers and smoke detectors. But there is some recourse for properties that fail to meet these guidelines. A license can be suspended or revoked if 3 valid public safety concerns happen within a year of one another, and they can't relicense for a full year afterward. Unlicensed rentals would face a $500 daily fine.
I feel like there should be some regulations, but in this day and age with housing prices being so expensive and a lot of people not want to move out of their low interest rate mortgages, they might want to rent their properties. So I don't want to over-regulate renting properties because it's a good moneymaker for a lot of people and it is their property.
If passed, the ordinance would take effect next month following its formal adoption. In Triana, I'm Caleb Aguayo, Fox 54 News.
The meeting is happening right now, and officials are expected to leave tonight with an official stance for short-term rentals moving forward. We'll have the results of tonight's meeting later on Fox 54 News at 9. If you live in Gurley, your water service may be temporarily interrupted tomorrow and Wednesday. Crews will temporarily shut off service while finishing the system improvements. This outage will impact you if you live on Wallace Road off County Lake Road, houses 119 through 204, and Rabbi Lane, houses 133 through 399. Water service expected to be turned back on by 3 p.m. on both days. We've got a couple Fox 54 traffic impact alerts for you this evening. Drivers near Pulaski Pike and Sparkman Drive should prepare for lane closures starting tomorrow. Huntsville Utilities water operations will close northbound lanes of Pulaski Pike from Sparkman Drive to Moss Road from 6:30 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. through July 31st. This is except for Sundays for water line installation. Expect daytime lane closures on State Road 227 in Gunnersville starting today. Crews are working to widen part of the shoulder. Crews with Guardian Retention Systems and AlDOT will start on the project Monday and finish it by Friday the 17th. Expect lane closures between Gerald Bryant Drive and Short Creek beginning at 7:30 and running until 6:30 in the evening. The $243,000 project will help improve guardrail placement along the curves of the road. Be on the lookout during your drive for flaggers and pilots as they direct traffic through the work zone. If Pine Street is part of your daily drive in Florence, you'll want to plan ahead. Starting today, Pine Street will be closed from Irvine Avenue to West Matiolu Street as crews start the first phase of the resurfacing and striping project. You'll be detoured to Wood Avenue while crews mill and pave the road. The city says the project will also add bike lanes and a center turn lane and pedestrian crosswalk improvements, with work expected to be done by mid-September.
A lot of times, these stories go unnoticed.
Because Nolan Wells is not the only one.
Calls for transparency and answers following the death of Nolan Wells, a teen who was last seen with friends in Mississippi July 4th weekend, will take you to the coast. An opportunity to learn or lead available for young men in Huntsville. The male mentorship program now open. Details on how to get you or your child involved ahead. Supporters gathered near Biloxi to honor Nolan Wells and renew calls for answers surrounding his death. Those in attendance say the demonstration was about transparency and learning the facts, not assigning blame. We'll take you to Mississippi.
The goal of today's protest, I feel like, would be just to say his name. Yes, sir, Nolan Wells.
For me, this means a whole lot because I have my kids in this community too.
Hey, Nolan Wells!
I'm a mom, I have 2 sons, so it hit home for me.
Nolan Wells could have easily been my grandson.
Yes, sir!
I feel like today's testament is that we want answers. It's not about vengeance, it's not about accusations, it's about the truth and it's about transparency.
We're gonna stand behind the family, and that's why we're out here.
No peace!
A lot of times, these stories go unnoticed.
Because Nolan Wells is not the only one. There has been a long historic string of young black men losing their life under very suspicious circumstances.
I am the family of Emmett Till. And my family is here in support of what's going on because this young man should not be dead.
No justice! No peace!
So I know him personally as a kid before he went out to college. It's hard in this generation to find kids that still say yes sir, no sir.
Nolan Wells!
And when he came to me and wanted to work, he said, you know, my mom and dad told me I gotta get my own money. And I said, but when you go out to college, I want you to make good choices and decisions to set you up for a lifetime. And he said, yes sir. That says a lot about his home life. It says a lot about his parents, and it says a lot about him. The things that he did while he was here on earth, it left a statement and a place in a lot of people's heart. Life is precious, no matter what color you are.
That's a fact.
We just need to get to the facts of what really happened. That's really what it's about, the facts. It's not about the color of the skin. It's about sticking to the facts of whatever it is. And if it's something that happened as a mistake, then just let's speak about it. Let's talk about it. That's it. I'd just like to say to him and his soul, man, rest in peace. And we always love you, man. And you did everything you could while you were here. And you did a great job. And that's it.
As for the case, no autopsy results have been released publicly yet, and those who attended that protest say they'll continue advocating for transparency and standing with Wells' family as they wait for more answers about his death. Back here in the Tennessee Valley, a festival honoring the father of blues returns to the shows. We've got a lineup of what's expected at this year's WC Handy Festival. And Jordan, we've had rain today. Is more in store tonight?
Oh, most definitely. Some of us are going to be talking about a little bit of rain as we head into the overnight. And then again, as we head into your Tuesday, we'll discuss it in a few minutes.
Over County 911, what's the address of your emergency? Okay, your wife is in a bar. You said she's unresponsive.
This is what he's going to tell you. You know how to get out of that situation.
And I grabbed the gun.
Trying to find the first place to put a body.
No, sir.
The only thing they could do was kill him.
You want to say anything? We, the jury, and to find the defendant.
If you have a young man at home, Huntsville Parks and Recreation has an opportunity you'll want to know about. Registration now open for the city's male mentorship program, open to boys ages 8 to 15. It's for the 2026-27 school year. For $25, your child can build confidence, learn life skills, take part in activities, and connect with positive role models. Space is limited, and if you'd like to give back, the program is also looking for male mentors who can pass a background check. Find a link to register when you go to our website, FOX54.com. Men over 40, listen up. You can get a free prostate cancer screening tomorrow at the Madison County Health Department. The Urology Health Foundation will offer screenings from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at 301 Max Luther Drive Northwest. You don't need an appointment. Healthcare officials say early detection is important and can make a major difference. Screenings include PSA blood test and a physical exam. For more information, call the Madison County Health Department at 256-539-3711. Looks like our video is frozen, but the cloudy sky still remains above off on Governor's Drive. No surprise there.
Yeah, definitely no surprise. Sunshine was somewhat difficult to come by this afternoon, but how was your weekend?
It was good. A little bit of rain, a little bit of sunshine, but I enjoyed it.
I think it makes, planning a weekend or really any day of the week very difficult. I feel like this is maybe a hot take when I say if it's going to rain, I just kind of wish it rained everywhere for a predetermined amount of time. This whole scattered shower business, it might rain at 4 but not at 4:05 business gets really old.
But then the downside of your hot take is that it'll be hot. See what I did there?
She makes a very valid and punny point. Was that a pun? I don't know if that was a pun. Either way, I enjoyed the play on words, and it made my Monday that much better. Scattered showers and thunderstorms continue this evening across northwest Alabama. Maybe a little bit of activity across Lauderdale County heading up into southern Middle Tennessee. But we're also talking about some scattered showers and thunderstorms down around Colbert and Franklin counties. Had a little bit of light rain across Lawrence County. That activity has since come to an end. We're also talking about a couple of sprinkles across northeast Alabama, Jackson and DeKalb counties. Specifically, that activity is somewhat difficult to come by, but it is definitely there. Maybe even a little bit of light rain. Northern Madison County also heading up into southern Middle Tennessee. The story is going to remain the same for the next couple of days. Scattered showers and thunderstorms on Tuesday, smaller chance on Wednesday. I think the coverage is going to be a little bit less on Wednesday. I'll show you what I mean here in just a second. Rain is pretty much likely as we head into Thursday, Friday. Now the good news, by the time we get to the weekend, yes, the rain is still going to be in the forecast, but it does look like the rain chances are going to drop off as we head into the weekend. We're not necessarily desperate for rain if we look at rainfall totals over the entire month of July, at least at the Huntsville International Airport we're not. We're doing pretty good. We've seen 1.95 inches of rain. They could, however, use a little bit of rain over in the Shoals. So far in the month of July, our friends over in northwest Alabama have only seen 42/100ths of an inch of rain. Typically, we get right around 4 inches in the month of July. So our friends west of the I-65 corridor have a little bit of catching up to do. Maybe they'll be able to do that as we head into your Tuesday. Maybe they won't. Isolated, widely scattered showers and thunderstorms are once again going to be possible. Not everybody's going to get wet. Not everybody's going to get wet at the exact same time. Some of us are going to get to enjoy a little bit of sunshine, going to be a little bit warmer. Others going to get more cloud cover, showers and thunderstorms, and therefore going to be a little bit cooler. We are dry through the overnight and then early into your Wednesday morning. Now look what happens as we head into Wednesday afternoon. I was telling you that I think the coverage is going to be a little bit less on Wednesday afternoon, and that trend would continue as we head into Wednesday evening. However, that trend would come to an end as we head into your Thursday afternoon and Thursday evening, where the coverage is going to pick up a little bit more. It's going to be a little bit greater across the Tennessee Valley of showers and thunderstorms. Rainfall totals by the time we get to the lunch hour on Thursday going to be all over the board. Some of us are going to get a little bit of rain. Some of us are going to get a lot of rain. Temperatures currently sitting in the upper 70s and lower 80s. We drop into the lower 70s as we head into the overnight. I've got a low temperature right around 70 degrees. Some of us are going to be quiet. Some of us are going to have a little bit of rain. Kind of a luck of the draw sort of a thing. Have a good look at the next 7 days. We stick with the below average temperatures, just 83 degrees on Tuesday. Average is right around 92 or 93. 85 on Wednesday, 87, 88 Thursday, Friday, 90 degrees on Saturday. I've got a pair of 91s as we head into Sunday and Monday of next week. So temperatures finally going to be seasonal by the time we get to the weekend and then as we head into the early part of next week. But again, enjoy this while you can. 83 degrees in July, not a very common occurrence.
Wow, yeah. Well, the blues is set to take over the Shoals once again. WC Handy Music Festival makes its return Wednesday. The festival runs until the 26th, celebrating the legacy of WC Handy, dubbed the father of the blues. What started as a long weekend of music has grown into a regional tradition with performances at parks, restaurants, libraries, museums, galleries, and so much more. You won't just hear the soul-shaking blues. Expect car shows, theater, sports, and family-friendly events across the Shoals. Go to fox54.com for a full schedule of events. Mo, what's new with sports?
Well, festivities for the 2026 MLB All-Star Game continuing today in the city of Philadelphia. I've got a preview coming up next in sports.
Fox 54 Plus has your news, sports, and weather. Start your evening with Fox 54 at 5:30, delivering the latest headlines and live reports straight from the scene. Then stay informed with Fox 54 News at 9, featuring your Tennessee Valley certified most accurate weather impact team, tracking everything from tornado threats to traffic delays during severe weather. Fox 54 Sports Extra brings you more of what sports fans crave, with deeper insights, expert analysis, and all the action that matters most. On Fox 54 Plus, you'll also find Alabama politics, plus 24/7 weather radar and real-time forecasts to keep you ahead of the storm. Looking for a quick recap? Don't miss Fox 54 Week in Review, highlighting the biggest stories of the week. Jumpstart your morning with Morning Rush. Fast-paced news updates, featured with uplifting stories from across the globe. Get your entertainment fix with Getting Real, where we break down movie reviews, top 10 lists, and spotlight the newest film. Die Hard fan? Locked On Sports dives deep into the Crimson Tide, the tigers, college rivalries, and pro action. True crime more your style? Killer Cases brings you gripping, real-life stories that stick with you. Hungry for more? Cooking with Style serves up mouth-watering recipes that are easy to make and impossible to resist. From movie previews before you head to the theater with Take a Look to must-know headlines from across the region and around the world with In the News. Watch all of these shows on demand and also on the Fox 54 News app. Available on Android and iOS devices. Streaming 24/7.
And good evening, everyone. Baseball's best have touched down in Philadelphia for the 2026 MLB All-Star Game. And as Ryan Yee from our sister station WPMT tells us, they are ready to feed off that brotherly love energy.
The MLB All-Star Week has been a hit, but tonight it becomes a home run. The fan favorite Home Run Derby is on deck soon. Here at Citizens Bank Park, dingers are going to be hit over the fence. But first, players wrapping up their games just last night, having to take a quick trip over here to Philly to take part in the 2026 Midsummer Classic. From the diamond to the All-Star podium in less than 24 hours.
Welcome to the 2026 All-Star Game from beautiful Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia.
Baseball's All-Stars have arrived.
You know, this event is so much about the players that are here now, but the players that have been here before and that will be here later too, to where you're recognized as the best of the best.
Ready to put on a show.
You should be able to showcase your talents in front of everyone. It's a special moment. So I think for Dylan, for Christopher, you know, I'm really excited for him.
Excited to soak in an all-star atmosphere.
I wouldn't say it. I'm nervous. I feel at home. I'm at home here, and it's just, you know, that's a point in favor for us. Like being at home, I think the joy that the fans bring and all the energy that our fans bring to the stadium, it's something that, you know, motivates me every single day.
And if the past couple of days here in Philly have been any indication, the atmosphere here at Citizens Bank Park is going to be buzzing, especially with a hometown crowd that's going to be cheering for a couple of their own. In Philadelphia, I'm Ryan Yee.
All right, thank you so much, Ryan. The 2026 edition of the Midsummer Classic, aka the MLB All-Star Game, taking place on Tuesday evening. Coverage on Fox 54 begins at 6 p.m. First pitch is set for 7 p.m. Kanisha.
Yeah, Mo, we'll be ready for it. Tonight on Fox 54 News at 9. Fox 54's Gabe Glassman sits down with the family of a Decatur heritage standout who was gone way too soon. We hear from his mother about his legacy. The push for transparency in a deadly Memphis shooting is entering a new phase as community organizers point to a video they say tells a different story. A Boy Scout troop will give dozens of worn American flags a respectful farewell, following a tradition rooted in honoring Old Glory. We'll take you there, and you can hear more stories on Fox 54 News at 9. Before we let you go, talk about a race. Look at this, millions of years in the making. Dinosaur-clad contestants hit the track at the 2026 Emerald Downs T-Rex World Championship. That's a mouthful. Well, pumping their prehistoric legs, you see them go to the finish line. And the men's race right there, Chase Mertz of Seattle stomped out in front and raced away with a very large green trophy to match his dino getup. The women's race came down to a photo finish with Mimi Miyazawa rumbling her way to the title. And there she is with the big, tall, purple trophy. Would you all ever do anything like that?
Sure. Oh. Why not? I don't know. I'm sure there's probably something for a good cause. And plus, it would give me an excuse to finally go buy one of those costumes. I'm really glad those costumes, that one specifically, have not lost their popularity.
I totally agree. And yeah, I definitely sign up. Also, that particular race, they've been doing it for a number of years, and the popularity continues to grow, because I remember running that like several years ago as on Sports Extra as the best of the week. So
really?
Yeah, so glad to see it's still going all these years later.
Yeah, I would expect you to have an interest because you know you're into
so you might as well be one.
Oh, yeah, whatever. I lost my train of thought, but we'll see you tonight at 9 o'clock.